Hi, Schlockmeister fans. We're going to watch something called The Earthling, William Holden and Ricky Schroder. Let's check it out. Our movie takes place in Australia, and here is William Holden. Right behind him is Ricky Schroder and his parents. They're going to go camping somewhere in the outback.
That's a blessing. I'd like to know if there are any good places to camp around. You can camp any place you don't get shot off.
William Holden is sick. I believe he has cancer. He's coming back to his home, his homeland in Australia. His friend doesn't want him to go.
You just don't listen. I'm not coming back. What are you saying?
You'll never make it. I'm not letting you leave for that fella. I'll break your bloody leg first.
He had a place out in the middle of nowhere. Years ago, he owns a piece of land.
He'll go in my place.
Another friend gives him a horse to get started.
This is a genuine American Indian magic medicine bag.
No.
Yes, sir. Indian. Give it to me.
Ricky Schroder meets somebody.
Big cheap red feather himself.
Ricky's parents are arguing with each other.
Shawn, get us some firewood, please, son.
I love it, but in comfort.
Darling, let it be.
But as the father tries to move the van, tragedy occurs and slips off the side of the cliff. Which leaves Shawn all alone because his parents are gone. Lots of nature footage in this film, obviously. At one point when he's screaming for help, William Holden's character, Patrick Foley, hears him. He's kind of a grumpy old man, but they hook up.
You want to share the fire, you fetch your own wood. You're old.
They're gone and you're not.
What's your name, child? And you eat bugs.
So Patrick is stuck with Shane.
Protein and fat anyway.
So he's got to teach him some
Catch
things.
frogs, and you eat
Shawn.
flowers, and you strip away bark, and someday you're gonna die, just like someday I'm going to die. But until then, you fight like hell to stay alive. You get that?
Well, at one point, Patrick leaves Shawn to his own. Shawn does okay, though. He manages to catch a rabbit. He's learning. But he's still looking for Patrick.
Hello?
He didn't tell him he was leaving.
Hello, anywhere?
Shawn's mad.
You want to know something? You smell. You stink. You should take a bath. And then hot bath. And then hot bath till you drown.
That dead rabbit he's carrying attracts some wild dogs. But he makes it up that mountain. catches him.
I lied. Anyway, your nose should have told you I was lying. Well, come on. Bring your rabbit. Because I smoked too much when I was young.
That's why he's sick.
Because I thought it was, when I was a kid, that it was smart to be dumb.
Again, an incredible amount of nature footage in this film. And they're getting close to the valley.
Easy to find, to get into. Never been put on a map. Except once, but... Oh, but that was just an old log map. The beginning and the end.
They arrive.
Now get away! Get away! Only what I could give back. I could learn more in a week here than...
Mommy?
Kind of a homestead there left over.
Get your own fish.
A little taste of his own medicine there. The end is near.
Please. Just a little while longer. Please. Nothing. I promised you nothing. I didn't ask you to come along. You came along on your own, as it should be. And you leave on your own, as it should be.
I don't want to leave. I love you.
I never told my father that.
A new grave.
I thank you.
Our film ends with Shawn walking away. All right, let's talk about this here movie called The Earthling. Again, this is a very, very early movie for me in terms of taping. Probably within my first 50 movies or so that I taped this. It was on a TDK tape. In fact, my first TDK tape, I think it was. And now it's on Blu-ray. I have a DVD of this as well. I reviewed the DVD on my old channel. Now we got the Blu-ray. It stars Ricky Schroder and William Holden. William Holden, this is his second to last movie. S.O.B. was his last one before he died. He plays a man named Patrick Foley, who I believe is from Australia, and he's returning to Australia near the end of his life because he has terminal cancer, and he just wants to go back to his old homestead, which was like in the middle of some savanna somewhere, in the middle of nowhere in the outback. So that's what he sets out to do. Also, we have Ricky Schroder and his family. They're out there camping. They're going to find a good place to camp. At one point, the father, while Ricky Schroder's out gathering firewood, I think, he's trying to move the camper, and he ends up taking it over a cliff, and he and his wife who were inside die. So Ricky Schroder's on his own. He sees the accident, and he goes down to see if he can do anything, but they're dead. Anyway, so he's stranded in the middle of nowhere, literally, and he's screaming for help. William Holden does hear him, and at one point, Ricky Schroder, who plays Shawn, he actually catches up to William Holden, Patrick, and he's kind of lost. So Patrick is kind of a grumpy old man, and he just wants to get to his homestead and die. But he knows the wilderness, and he decides he's going to let Shawn tag along a little bit, but he's going to teach him how to survive and take care of himself, fishing and how to have a sense of direction, that sort of thing. And eventually they form a bond. He shows him how to fish as well. At one point near the end of the film, they actually do get to this homestead. It's in the valley. It's like a valley within a valley is what he says. And he kind of lets Shawn know that, I'm dying, I'm going to die soon, blah, 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 and you're going to have to leave. And Shawn doesn't want to leave. He says he wants Patrick to show him the way, but, he's not leaving here. That's where he's come to die. And the film ends with, we see Ricky Schroder walking away after he's buried his friend Patrick, and that's how the movie ends. Again, this movie was filmed in Australia. There's some incredible wildlife footage in here. In fact, we have a Blu-ray now. Everything looks crystal clear and wonderful. Wallabies, kangaroos, wombats, birds, all kinds of things, fishes, crabs. This was filmed in Australia as well. And apparently the director was really hard on Ricky Schroder, who was a child star at that time. He was in The Champ right before this came out. But William Holden actually stepped in and said, "You're picking on him too much." And apparently William Holden and Ricky Schroder formed a bond as well. The actors did. And then years later, like a dozen years later, even long after William Holden was dead, Ricky Schroder had a son, and they named him Holden after William Holden. So there you go. Anyway, it's available on Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber just had a sale very recently, and I think this thing was on sale for like $7.99 or something ridiculous. So I decided to upgrade from the DVD I had. There's 2 cuts on here. The international cut, they say, which is 99 minutes, and the regular cut, which is 97. I think I've always had the 99-minute version. I seem to remember it always being an hour and 39 minutes, so maybe we are international if it was filmed in Australia, right? So anyway, it's called The Earthling. It's a really good movie. I do recommend it. Curious if you've seen it. Leave some comments down below and let me know what you think about it. William Holden, Ricky Schroder, The Earthling. Watch it. Bye.